You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Shahs of Sunset After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Shahs of Sunset After Show.
Go, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We got so many birthdays tonight. MJ, Reza, episode 14. This is 40, the Shahs of Sunset season finale tonight. My name is Lyndsey Wegner, and I am joined here by both my co-hosts tonight. I got Cortez Galliano West to my left, and then to his left, I've got the lovely English Cleveland. It's so great to have all three of us back in the studio again tonight.
It was like home.
So we're obviously talking birthdays tonight.
That was amazing.
We're obviously talking birthdays tonight with Reza turning 40 and MJ, as she said in the little mini a montage she had. She doesn't really like to admit her age, and she was like, well, sometimes I'm 37. Well, am I 38? Am I 39? No, I'm 40 something. And then went back and they asked her, well, how old are you today? And she goes, she's thinking, and you can tell, I think she's 40.
Yeah, she's 40.
Maybe she's 42.
Maybe she's 42. They all look good. They all have fun. They all had a great time. They all act like they're, young at heart, slip and slides and all sorts of good stuff. So
I remember that.
Oh yeah. Have you guys ever slip and slide?
Absolutely. And it hurts.
It does hurt.
It hurts.
Mine was homemade.
Oh, was it?
It was the garbage bags and the water hose, like the black garbage bag.
Yeah.
And you get some soap and you just squeeze it all over the bag.
You put soap on it?
Yeah, like the dishwasher.
It doesn't get in your eyes?
No.
You gotta lube it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't know if I can say that, but I just did. Well, that's what they were saying in the episode.
I know, right? We're
so I'm
talking
just
about
using.
slip and sliding.
We're talking about slip and sliding.
Yeah. And then you just get the water and you
And it's
wipe
like
it, stuff. Yeah, and then slide.
It doesn't get in your eyes?
No, well, you close your eyes.
Oh. Well, I want to try that then.
We're going to do that for the English's birthday party this year.
Yeah.
We're going to get her a little slip and slide.
April, get ready.
Yeah. Well, this episode opened up tonight with Reza and Mike at the gym, getting a little workout in before Reza wanted to get in shape before his 40th birthday. So they're at the gym, and Reza doesn't want to bring up the fact that there's obviously been tension between the two of them, and they've got this Palm Springs trip planned, and he doesn't want it to be ruined by a conversation with Mike. But Mike brings it up and says, hey, we got to talk before we go.
Right.
We've got a business partnership that clearly isn't flourishing, and our friendship has kind of been at a stalemate as well. And we've all been noticing that in the past couple episodes, that they're just not back to
it's about time, finally,
brotherhood.
Yeah, they're going to talk about it.
But what I thought was really, really interesting was Mike's comment that in commercial real estate, a junior agent gets 10 to 20% of the commission from the whatever they sell. But Reza explained that in residential real estate, the junior agent gives 50% of their 2 first deals to their mentor. So Mike, I guess, didn't know this, and Reza's supposed to teach him the ropes. And, Reza said he's not going to invest time in somebody who's not willing to pay his dues.
Right.
And Mike isn't patient enough to take the time, so he decides to go back into his commercial real estate to save their friendship. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that was a good thing for them just to decide and say we're gonna move forward with our friendship and cut the business ties?
I think absolutely. At this point, Mike, he has a woman that is ready to be married, not tomorrow, today, right now, right now. So I think he needs to get back to what he knows so he can at least make some kind of money so he can start this, wedding planning and getting her a ring and starting to have kids before he's 40. So yes, I think that it's saving their relationship, and I also think that it's beneficial for him on the financial side as well.
I think so too. What do you think,
For
Cortez?
those of you that are watching, if you're watching me over here leaning to the side here, I missed the episode, so I'm going to be your social media person. So any comments or anything like that, just hit me up on Shoot Overboard or Shahs Of Sunset. I'm looking at a couple of tweets now, and I'm trying to follow along with what Lyndsey and English are talking about because I missed it. But yeah, tweet me, and I'm gonna get your comments out there and get them answered by us. So.
If you guys haven't, if you have any questions about the show or about what we thought about certain things, tweet Cortez, English or I, and especially Cortez since he's checking everything out. And let us know what you're thinking. Let us know your comments. This is also a good thing to do since we have iTunes. You can rate us on iTunes 5 stars. All the other AfterBuzz TV shows, let us know what you're thinking. We love to talk to you all on YouTube, everything. So let us know, and feel free to tweet us now because we'll give you a little shout out if you do.
And ask questions also on iTunes as well, like on the comments, and then we will ask them next week, or we'll answer them next week on the reunion. So do that for us, please.
Yes, pretty please.
So, in the next scene, we see MJ and her mama out for spa day for her birthday.
Right.
And I'm getting excited because I feel like this season, their relationship has been better than it was. And they're still obviously working on a lot of things, but it's been a lot better. They go on the spa day, and I'm so looking forward to them having a good day. And her mom asks how Turkey was. And she starts talking about how she was talking to this little girl, and for the first time in her life, she felt like she wanted to have children. And the first thing her mom says, she makes some mean comment about how have you seen a child before? You've been around kids before, and she...
I did not picture Gigi as a mother.
MJ.
I'm sorry, MJ as a mother.
I think it'll slow her down.
I think she's maybe like a Tamar. Like once the baby comes, she becomes a mom.
Yeah, I feel like any woman, if you're responsible, and she's responsible, she has a job, so I feel like if she does have this kid, it'll change her for the better.
Okay.
I'm hopeful. I like MJ this season. Well, these last few episodes. I really think MJ has really grown up and has become mature and a little bit more refined, besides taking your bikini top off in the...
I still give her credit because she didn't take it off, somebody else did, and whether or not she ran around half...
She likes it, though.
She likes it, but you know what? She's still young and she can do it.
Yeah,
Let her have fun.
Okay.
But I was really disappointed to see her mom get that upset with her. And then her mom saying, oh, well, every time this happens, you cry or you get upset, and all of a sudden it's all my fault again. And she's like, you started this. Well, MJ didn't start it. She was sharing something very, I think, personal. Obviously, like we said, last week, we'd never heard her talk about having children or wanting to have children. So this was our first time hearing this. So this is clearly very personal to her. And her mom just kind of made her feel bad for it.
It also makes me wonder, does her mom not want her to have anyone? Or does her mom not want her to have any grandkids? Like, does her mom not want to have any grandkids? Like, I think it's so weird. Like, why are you speaking to your daughter this way? You're mending a relationship to her, and if she's trying to tell you at her most vulnerable moment and point, and you're being so rude and mean to her, like someone off the street would, like not a parent. It's not, a parent doesn't talk to their child that way.
No.
It's completely inappropriate.
And I think she made a good point when she said, all these years I thought, about not having children, and maybe it's because my mom never wanted me.
And that is heartbreaking.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine? Think about it. That's probably is a good reason why maybe she hasn't wanted children, because she has never felt welcomed or wanted. And their relationship is so difficult and strained. And they do seem to have a lot of issues that they try to work through, but there's a lot of tension there whenever they're together. And her mom is pretty hard on her. So, that's something that I could see working through in therapy. And I thought they were going last season, weren't they?
Yeah, they started. But remember, her mom didn't want to do it or something weird. I don't remember exactly, but I think her mom was the one that was just like, She wasn't giving the therapist anything to work with.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I remember when I was sitting there, and she was just like asking her answering her questions very short, with short answers. And I was just like, okay, she does not want to be there. Literally.
She doesn't think she has a problem. That's the issue.
She doesn't think that she's part of the problem at all.
But the first step, like everyone knows, is admitting
admitting that there's a problem or
Yeah.
admitting that there's an issue. Well, let's move on to Mike and Jessica, Cortez's future wife.
Well, you better step in because Mike's not hurrying up either.
Yeah, Mike's not rushing into this.
It doesn't matter. Look, he looked a little upset when Reza proposed. So I was like, oh, maybe I need to find what I said.
And she said she'll even take a ring pop, she said.
What did you say last week? That you wanted to have kids or get married? When was it? 2 years from now?
I don't remember marriage. I just remember kids.
Oh, kids. You wanted to have kids 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Right.
I want, yes, kids.
Okay, but okay.
But I would prefer the marriage to come first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you have got a taker in Jessica. We just need to work this out and get you guys meeting.
Jessica, I got food stamps first.
Shut up.
EBT first, and then we can go on over there to the big
gosh.
bucks. You know, not a real estate agency, but I'm just kidding.
Well, clearly, Mike is in no rush to jump into marriage with her, at least right now. And I felt like at the beginning of the season, it was moving so perfectly with her converting. And that's a big step and a big deal for anybody. And I'm not saying that you don't have to get engaged right away, but when somebody's doing that for you, they're not doing it for their health. They're not doing it just because, like, oh, well, I feel like converting to your religion. Oh, the next guy I'm dating, I'm going to convert to his religion. She's doing this because she sees a long-term life with Mike.
Do you think if it was for the show that if it was not because of the show that she would still want to
Pressure him?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a good question. You still think so? I don't know.
They're all
But do you
making.
think that she's converting because of the show?
No, I think she's converting because she wants to.
I also think, and I'm not trying to down, like I said last week, I also think that she's kind of converting because she's so young. I don't think she knows exactly what she's doing. She's my age at 25. You know what I mean? Like, she just turned 25. She's very young, and he's almost 40 years old. And she even said, like, I don't want to, or he's 35.
He's 35. So there's a 10-year difference between them. I think, I agree with you. Sorry, I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead.
I just think that it's very odd. Not odd, but, you know, like I said, when you have someone that you really do like and you really do care for, and they have a goal in their head, I want to find someone to marry. And then they find you, and you're like, okay, I'm going to, you know, do everything for you, and I'm going to convert, I'm going to do all this stuff. And she even said, like, she listed, I'm hot, I'm a nurse, I come from a good family. And that makes me wonder, which I want to know so bad, like, what does her family feel about her converting over to, you know, she used to be Catholic, and then now it's like she's converted. So it's like, you know, when you're young and you're like, oh, I was so young and dumb, like, why did I do that, you know, at 24?
Well, and I think when it comes down to it, pressuring somebody into something like that is not going to work.
No.
It's not going to be a good situation, because then you're going to get married for the wrong reasons, and I don't think that's right. And I think that it's a very young mentality to think, okay, I need to get married now, and we need to get engaged and jump into this and all this stuff at 25. I think you had mentioned earlier, but they've only been together for a year. So if they've been in a relationship for a year, I know some people out there get engaged and then they get married and they live happily ever after, and they're married 40 years after knowing each other for a year. So by all means, that's awesome. But if that's not what he wants and he doesn't see that, and he's planning a marriage, he's not planning on, or he's planning on a lifetime. He's not just planning on getting married, he's planning a lifetime. So he's trying to make sure that all his ducks are in a row. He wants to have a steady income and steady career and know where his next paycheck is coming from and be able to support the lifestyle that she wants.
And he said, first things first is Iranian weddings are $500,000.
Exactly.
So, I mean, he has to have everything, all his ducks in a row before he even gives her a ring.
If he's trying to do that, then give him a little more time. I mean, I would say in another year, if they've been together 2 years, and they clearly don't have, as far as we see, they don't have any big issues or anything like that, not any big fights or anything crazy like that. So they seem to have a good, steady and strong foundation for their relationship. So I would say in a year if they want to revisit the topic. But I think a year dating each other is not that long.
It's not long at all.
One of my girlfriends the other day, I just was asking her, my roommate's moving out, and I'm trying to find a new roommate. I was like, hey, I know you were talking about moving out possibly, and da-da-da, and you've got a subletter. And she's like, oh, well, things are going really well with my boyfriend. And I'm like, your boyfriend of a month? And she goes, yeah, well, we're going to move in eventually. And I'm like,
no.
What do you mean eventually? Does that mean 6 months from now? Does that mean a year from now? She's like, no. Things are moving really, really quickly. They're really good. Like, I'm in love.
It's the right now.
Like
it's
month,
like
2 months?
Yeah, you can't move on the right now.
That blows my mind.
And
I do believe in love at first sight.
I do
too. Believe in chemistry. And it's not for us to say that they are not, loving each other right now. But, I mean, until I see it or I'm around that person, then I'll believe that they're really in love because it'll show. It will show.
You don't know each other.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't know anything about each other.
Now you can like each other physically or sexually, but as far as living, because you never really know someone unless you live with them, or unless you're around them 24/7.
Good, yeah.
So for me, I'll have to be around them to say, okay, oh yeah, they really love each other. But it's still new.
And unfortunately for her, like she does have all of that, and that's beneficial.
She's got a lot of things going.
You have a lot. Do not let this situation, like, just because you want to be married so bad, ruin all the listed things that you listed off that you are. And then you're going to be a damaged goods. And then, then to pick yourself back up after a year to try to date someone else when you're trying to recover. I mean, we all know it's a disaster. We've all done it. We've all been there. But, I mean, it's her life. We can't dictate whatever. So, Mike, hurry up and get her a ring.
Mike, hurry up, and Jessica, slow down.
Exactly. I don't understand. You were in the country where didn't you say the rubies and the diamonds were at a good price? Oh, you was ready to go home. You didn't want to go to that temple. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He wasn't thinking right.
They both could. He could be thinking about it more seriously and looking into this is what she wants, and if you really love her and you want to make her happy.
But if he can't afford it, that's the thing. If
he can afford it, number one.
He can afford what he can afford, but not what he wants to give her. He says what she deserves is way more than he can afford right now. And so now, since he's back in real estate, is he doing residential?
I guess he's going back to commercial.
Okay, since he's going back to commercial real estate, he's in his niche. He can make money. He knows what he's doing. I'm sure he still has previous clients. He can, and I see his Instagram. He's always flossing. So obviously he's working. So hopefully he can get some money to buy the ring.
I have a question from Twitter from Renee.
Yay!
From Renee Murad. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. So it's
Hi, Renee.
At Renee Murad.
Hi, Renee.
She says, what would you say if your boyfriend or girlfriend said you can't get married for another 5 years?
Oh, no. Okay, so like we always like to discuss about my boyfriend that I've been with for so long, almost 3 years. And well, today he's my boyfriend, everyone, just in case you're wondering.
Last week he wasn't.
Last week he was absolutely
He didn't deserve her last week.
At all. So anyways.
Oh, no, Valentine's coming up. He made it.
He's working. He's
smart.
figuring it out.
You gotta meet.
Okay. So, I'm 25, like I said. He's 30. So, I mean, there's a 5-year gap, but I don't ever pressure him, but I feel like, okay, what are you leading to? Like, what is your next, 5-year goal or your plan? Because every girl has in their head, for me, I want to be married by 30, have the kids by 32. What?
Nothing, go ahead.
Is that long? I mean, that's 5 years.
Oh, I'm earlier than that because I was from Wisconsin. That had all changed.
Okay,
now
by 28, between 28 and 30.
To do what?
Because now
to be married.
I've been with him for almost 3 years.
Oh, okay. You're coming from that. I thought you were just saying that period doesn't matter if you're with someone or not with someone right now.
Well, she's basically, I think, going off of Jessica and Mike being together for at least a year. So now if you've been together for minimal, we'll say a year, and your boyfriend says,
no,
in 5 years,
no,
I'm going to wait 5 years to get engaged.
You're not supposed to put a limit on it.
You don't put a limit on
just
it.
like I was saying, I'm not going to put I know what I want. But if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. I don't want any guy to tell me, because that's like torture. Like, I'm going to marry you in 5 years.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's disaster. What do you think, Cortez?
Would you tell a girl that?
I would never, no. I would never put a time on anything.
Yeah, no.
Ever. I would never put a time on anything because, I mean, like I said, I believe in love at first sight and I believe in chemistry. So I never want to, you know, I can be somewhere and I see a girl and I'm like, oh, wow. And I can just be head over heels just by the way that she carries herself. And if that's something that continues, because, you know, sometimes you can see someone out in the club and they act totally different, you know, than they are at home.
Or if they drink tequila.
And or look.
I'm just kidding.
And or look totally different than
Right.
they do out.
Right.
But for me, I will have to say, if you're going to pressure me with a time, I would definitely have to say at least 3 years to be with that person.
I think that's
and then at least thinking about getting engaged and not setting a date.
Because they feel more like they're your family. Like, you know, like a year, it's like, okay, you met the fam. But now it's like, you really know me.
Yeah.
You could
know?
still be in the honeymoon,
think-
like,
Yeah.
happy zone for the first year.
The
Right.
first year, it's like you're still trying to. Some people don't even meet their family, like their other person's like
Sure.
family until like a year, like Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, so it takes a lot. Like,
To me, I think the best thing is like what, I don't mean to go back or talk about another show or another person, but Nene and Greg from Housewives of Atlanta. I think that's amazing how you can marry someone for so long, you separate and realize that, okay, because you know they say you don't miss anything until it's gone, you know? So they separated and they got remarried. Divorced and everything and got remarried. That is amazing.
They realized that
to
they
me.
were each other's true love.
Exactly. So that's a marriage to me. So it's something that when you realize you cannot live without that person. Because if I can make you mad today, you like, forget him, I want a divorce paper, boom. That's it. I've seen my mom do some things to my father. I've seen my father do some things to my mom. They did not just stay together because of me. They stayed together because of the foundation that they built. So I would never... Someone asked me this the other day, because I also said this in another little chat thing. I said that I would never divorce if I'm married, or I would never break up with someone if they cheat on me the first time.
The first time, because people make mistakes.
Exactly. The second time, okay, it's
Habitual.
Yeah.
You made the choice.
we're going to
then.
therapy.
Yeah. But the third time,
It's a wrap.
Oh,
we're going to divorce. But we're going to do it very, very, very mature. Very mature. It's like, okay, well, I gave you time at the time, so the judge shouldn't even have an idea of thinking about, you know, if not allowing us to get divorced. But I give it time. I would never just stop because I'm mad. I would just separate myself for a moment. We'll separate, but I would never call it off. I'd call it quits. Never do that.
So, ladies, now you know.
Yeah, I mean, not only ladies, like fellas, like stop jumping from girl to girl because she made you mad. Talk about it first.
communication.
Communication is so fundamental. Talk first. You never know what the other person is thinking, because for me, if English is mad at me because of something, I'm going to let English come to me on her own time. I'm going to ask first, you want to talk? She doesn't want to talk? Bye. And then when she's ready to talk,
She's ready.
we're ready to talk. Communication is fundamental, people.
Communication, big thing. And I think that's why when you have these, you know, like you were saying, okay, so somebody puts a 5-year, you know, my boyfriend says, okay, in 5 years, I'm going to get engaged. Now, if I have been with him for 3 years and he says it's going to be another 5 years, and I am, obviously, you guys all know, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, I'm 30 years old. Waiting 5 years for me, that's not something I want. Is that
Absolutely
something
not.
that if I, you know, was single and then at 32 I met somebody and then at 35 I got married, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be with somebody for 8 years for them to figure out, okay, well, now I'm ready to get engaged to you. And then you have a year to plan a wedding, and then another year before you have kids, and all of a sudden the next thing you know, I'm 38 and having children.
Yeah, and that's not fun.
And it's so.
It's like, what is your?
I think it just depends. I mean, if you're in a relationship for a year and the guy says 5 years, I think that's goes back to communication. Why do you want to wait that long? What's making you feel like you need to wait that long?
Right.
What's going on, you know, in your life, or what can we work through together to talk about what I want and what you want and make a compromise on it? Because I think if you communicate, then you can work through that and you can both get what you want in the end.
Okay, so let's move on.
Let's move on.
To the next subject of kids and all of that, of freezing of the eggs. Okay, I pray, dear Lord Jesus, that I never have to do that. But if it came down to it, I'm full force for it. What about you?
Actually, like, I was thinking about this during the episode, and I wouldn't mind adopting. If it doesn't work out and I'm not allowed, and at that time then I can't have kids anymore, I have no problem adopting.
That's good.
There are so many, unwanted children in the
Right,
world
yep.
that I would rather take in somebody than sit there and continue to keep trying and over again to try and have, I'm sure that there's a very big difference, but the parents that you hear talk about it, they love all their children the same, even when there's an adopted one and even when there's a biological one. So as much as I'd love to have my own child and have it be my baby and my husband's baby, if that is not in the cards for me, then that's what God has planned.
Yeah. And that's
So then
good.
there's a bigger thing out there for me to happen. And I got some cute little Asian baby hanging out with me.
Well, for me, I want kids, period, point blank. But if I cannot find one, you never really hear about a guy.
Neil Patrick
freezing
Harris.
freezing his sperm for a female. You always hear about a
Well,
girl
because
going
you
to the
guys
bank.
can have Hugh Hefner could have a kid still right now
Yeah.
if he really wanted to. So
It
come
may
on.
not be as potent.
But if he kept trying, it could work.
Well, as far as what I'm speaking of is if I do not meet anyone within my time frame that I'm thinking in my head, first of all, I'm not going to pressure it. But if I feel like, okay, I'm set in my career, this is what I want to do. I know I cannot add someone who's already mentally set to where they want to be in life too. Let me make a newborn set to where I am. So I will actually, go and find the perfect woman for me, just like the girl or the female would go to the sperm bank and find the perfect male for her. And I would want her to have a child. But I don't know if they have places like that, do they?
Well, I know that, when you watch Friends back in the day when Monica was thinking about having a child and she was, going through with sperm donors.
Right.
And she was picking out, well, this guy's a rocket scientist, this guy's this. And remember, she's reading and she reads one off and it's Joey. But he totally, exaggerated all of his stuff, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, this is Joey." But so there's got to be something for both people, so
I
that
agree.
the sperm, maybe a man that wants to, have a baby, because I know that my previous
surrogate,
roommate
right?
and I were
Yeah.
talking about it, and she's like,
Girl,
"Would you
how many
ever
roommates you
would you ever sell your eggs? Because I think they give you $10,000
No, I know a girl.
per egg."
I just told my mom this, that I knew a girl. She was blonde hair, blue eyes. She came from good genetics. She didn't have a job because every other month she would fly to Chicago and give her eggs, and they would give her $10,000 each time. So she never had to. She made a killing off of that every year. I wonder if I have.
I think I don't know how often you can do it, but obviously
She does it often.
every month or every other month.
Every other month she goes.
That's $60,000 a year.
Yeah,
Just
and most
selling
people don't
your
make
eggs.
that. Most
So
people don't make that.
That's insane. And now some people would say, well, if I'm giving all my eggs away, does that mean that when I want to have a child one day that I won't be able to? Because it's,
Yeah.
you never know. Or because of the trauma. I don't know if there's trauma involved in doing that or what it actually, it seems very invasive.
Right.
But getting pregnant and having all this stuff when what do they say when you're
IED.
when you're trying to get pregnant and you're they're implanting it, that's all got to be invasive anyway.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like you're shooting shots in yourself every day.
But so you do have Cortez, you do have the option, you just got to look for the right egg donor. But
There you go. See, good to know.
I feel like it's probably more expensive for a man to find a woman than it is a woman to find a man.
But
for sperm.
To me, I want to experience the whole fact of being. It's kind of hard, guys, because I want to be in the hospital with the person that's having my baby.
You can.
Not if it's a surrogate. I don't want to do that if it's a surrogate. I want to do that if that's the person that I have.
You're
spent
married and
time
you're in love with her yet.
You see? So if I don't think I'm going to do a surrogate thing. If I don't find anyone, I'm thinking I'm going to do the whole adopt thing at a very, very infant, 1 month, 2 month
Sure.
baby, something
Yeah,
like that.
that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. I would do that too. It's a good. Okay, so let's get to the fun.
All right, let's get to party time. Everybody's heading to Palm Springs. They're
Okay.
all excited. Reza's got lots of cigars to smoke and all his bags packed. The girls all have their Louis Vuitton with them, and they're ready to celebrate his birthday. And first off, the food all looked incredible.
We were like
starting with Il Cielo with Mike and Jessica, which, by the way, I went there for Dine LA, and the pictures are up on my Instagram. The food was incredible. Holy cow, it was so good. And both of us were talking about how good the food looked at their restaurant.
Amazing. I'm starving anyway. So,
where was question? I'm sorry to cut you off, love. But where was Reza and Mike when they made up?
They were at the gym.
Oh, they were not in Palm Springs?
No, they were at the gym. This was before they left for Palm Springs because Reza wanted to get in one last workout.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's all right. So, so we're having fun in Palm Springs. They've got a wonderful dinner set up. Everyone's hanging out, drinking champagne, all sorts of good stuff.
And we wanted to be there.
And isn't it nice to see everybody just getting along?
Yes, no one argued. No, and even we're like dun dun dun. Gigi's about to like go off.
Loch
Nessa's about to go for it, and she even like got over.
Caught herself.
She caught herself. What is the hook? The hook. Hit the hook, and when she hits her yoga hook pose, then she just becomes so peaceful.
You know what surprised me before that was when, they're all in the pool and they're all playing, and you were asking why Mike and Jessica had left, and obviously they were off going to have some fun. They took off MJ's top and they threw it, up in the tree. So they finally got it back, and she tosses it and she hits Gigi in the head with it. And Gigi starts to get angry about it, and
first of all, let's talk about her double fisting before then. So they're all belligerently drunk. Gigi's like in the pool double fisting it with looks like Jack Daniel and some other kind of drink, and she's just having a good time. And then she's sitting out smoking. She's drunk because she's slurring her words. She gets hit in the head with the buckle off of the
swimsuit, the metal part, the clasp.
And she's like, I have a bump. I have a bump.
A knob. She kept saying, I have a knob. Was a knot or a knob?
A knot.
Or something like that.
Gigi.
Gigi's saying this. And I'm thinking, okay, it's not that big of a deal. She didn't do it on purpose. She wasn't trying to hit you. You got to let it go. She kind of chases after MJ and says, look, I have this. And Asa is just sitting there.
Up.
Exactly. She's hilariously laughing at this. And all of a sudden, Gigi just bends MJ over the bed and starts like spanking her. But all in good fun.
All in good fun.
And I literally, when I saw her go up to MJ and confront her, I was thinking, okay, maybe this isn't going to be good.
Yeah,
but she let it go.
It's funny to say that because I'm not getting like much questions. I'm getting a lot of people just saying that they are happy that this episode, that everyone was getting along. And just as soon as you all said, well, you thought something was going to happen, everyone on Twitter is thinking the same thing. Someone thinking, they were saying that looks like Reza and Mike should go ahead and have sex.
Oh my gosh.
MJ.
MJ and Mike? Oh, because, okay. So we're happy to see, obviously, Loch Nessa not causing drama, but then they're having more fun, and they break into Mike's room, which they did last year.
Not even break. Oh, they first initially break in. Then they bust the whole door down. Mind you, they're at like a beautiful compound house that looks amazing and very expensive, and they're busting doors off the hinges and throwing plates and just having like, I wish I was there. Insane fun for the weekend.
And they also saying that MJ is secretly in love with Reza. What's going on with that?
No, she just loves him. She's like a brother.
I think it's a brotherly thing. I think it's
love.
Just happy for him and his life, and glad that they're best friends again and everything. But what did you say right before we started our show? That everyone was really happy and everyone got along, but what? It was boring.
It was boring. I did say that. It because there wasn't any drama, and when they were throwing the plates, I was like, "Woo, yeah,
we're gonna get something."
Like, this is the best part of the show. And then I was like, "Oh, it ended so peacefully and with a beautiful."
It was very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
So, Christopher at King Cap 41.
Hi, Christopher.
Yeah. Why do you feel? Why are you stunned that Gigi and MJ are feeling maternal? And you said this is freaky. Why would he say that?
Because they're getting old. They're getting. I don't know why he thinks it's freaky.
Freaky.
I don't know.
Is he 14? It might be scary to him.
Yeah, it's scary.
It could be scary.
Yeah.
If he's 40, then it's going to be really scary. Then, and then I actually feel worse for him if he's older.
Right.
They're just ready for that in their life.
And it was good to be able to see, like, Gigi's had a lot of fun in her lifetime. So she's like, can I even produce? Like, when she got to the doctor, when the doctor told her that her uterus was healthy enough to be able to carry a child, that's good news. So at least you know. You still have time. You may not even need to freeze your eggs. If you find someone soon, you can have, you know, a
Your own baby without having to
naturally.
worry about it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it looks like everyone is loving the fact that Reza and Mike are back friends.
Back is
Okay.
being friendly,
Okay.
which we're all obviously very happy about. So, I mean, Mike keeps making comments that everyone loves his duel,
Which is penis.
his penis. I mean, we've seen it now. Well, we haven't actually seen it, but we've seen literally. God,
We almost saw it this
We've
episode.
almost saw it this episode, but we almost saw it last season and the season before too.
So it's like MJ's boobs and his penis is the
They need to have a love child.
reoccurring cast member that never shows its face. But it's okay. We don't want to see it.
We don't want to see it. You can keep those under wraps.
at all.
Okay, so then we saw the slip and slide the next day, and all of them having fun, just playing and getting along, and knowing that Reza bringing up, hey, we can all sit here and be crazy and party and have a good time and all be together. And then they get dinner set up the next night, and he proposes to Adam.
It's so beautiful.
And
Well,
all their friends are around first off, which, I mean, that is the best proposal because you can have all your friends there. That's obviously friends or family. That's the best way, I think, to do it, or at least have them be there then to celebrate.
Right.
But once again, proposal kind of anticlimactic.
It was.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all. I was like,
I was
like
excited.
you dropped the ball. Like you dropped it. We were all excited. Like, I have a ring.
me?
No, and he had a beautiful Cartier ring. Like, if you're bringing me Cartier, you need to get on your knees and propose to me. Like, it ain't no like little gumball machine ring.
I'm surprised that he didn't. I mean, he's Reza and he's pretty like
Special. Like he
special,
likes to
but
go over the top.
He's over the top. So you
Right.
figure he would have planned something very like the cake, the ring and the cake.
Right. But he's like, I got you
what is
something.
this? I got you something.
Oh, what is this?
Oh,
cut
what's
the
in
cake
there?
And cut the cake and like, oh, the knife won't go down. Oh, what is this?
No, but instead
A
he
ring.
hands him,
Yeah,
but
he
instead
hands him a box
with
wrapped
the-
up in wrapping paper.
But then there's a ring inside of it.
And then
But he doesn't even say
he's like,
anything.
oh, it's so beautiful, thank you. And he
then-
turns to him, will you marry me?
That's so lame.
Like, while
I
everyone's like, oh, the ring is pretty. Like, you didn't think it was gonna be an engagement moment. He never got on his
No.
knee. He never like did traditional.
For me, I kind of think that he could have had to talk with Mike, because even Mike said, he was like, I mean, it was cool, but he didn't say anything to anyone. It was surprising.
Yeah, it was really surprising
But-
because he
Like
never
if he
mentioned
said
it.
I
a
would've-
speech before to
Yeah, you would have had
Adam.
everyone on edge because Adam looked like, oh, are you serious?
He didn't even say yes right away. He was
Yeah,
like,
he was just
so
like, "Oh, you
surprised. It's like,
serious?"
oh, yes, I do.
Oh, I'm supposed to say yes. Oh, you're proposing. Like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to stand up or get on one knee.
Yeah,
And you're supposed to make that person know that you're about to propose. So that time they're having time to think about it.
And everyone would still be excited for
yeah,
them.
because they're on edge like, oh God, so what is he about to
But
do?
it didn't get me.
Well,
excited.
how do you think the wedding is going to be? We all know how grand that Reza
Well,
is.
I'm happy for them because he met Adam last season and didn't really know what was going on and wasn't quite sure if he really wanted to commit to one guy. Because remember, he
I
was
remember
smelling
up
somebody's
people's
armpits.
Yeah, nasty.
So we see them at a beach picnic scene last season towards
Yes,
I
I
think the
remember
last
that.
episode, and then the beginning of the season we see them moving in together.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for them because
No, but
I
what
think
kind of
he
wedding?
found somebody for him,
Yeah.
which leads me to this wedding idea and knowing, the way-
Caviar everywhere for
caviar
everyone.
And Adam, I think, will be the type that will be just polite and go, whatever you want.
He is so sweet.
He's gonna end up being, I think, the man in the whole thing
So you think it's
because
going to be a grand, expensive wedding?
I think it's gonna be ridiculously ostentatious and incredible.
Well, I have Yasmin from Twitter who says that the average Iranian wedding does not cost $500,000 minimum, and we do not all live in Beverly Hills.
I can probably agree with that. That there's.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a big misconception. It's because they
It's because they do live in Beverly Hills
And they
they're
love
on
gold.
TV and
yeah. So I mean, everyone has that stereotype.
mindset and stereotype
Yeah.
for their group of people that they're in, and perhaps their friends and stuff. That might be their thing, but it's obviously not the norm. I can't see it being the norm.
And for Mike's family, obviously it is because we did see that his brothers birthday or graduation or whatever it was super duper like over the top, fabulous, gorgeous. Like it was like a full on like wedding situation. So obviously they do it that way.
Well, let's talk one more thing before we get into some news and gossip and predictions. But let's talk about Lilly.
Okay. Oh my gosh, super weird.
How
super weird.
First off, we all know that Lilly is one of my favorite characters, and this
exactly.
This just made her seem so like alone and depressed. It's just her and Coconut, and here she is getting her, to-go food and her takeout and going to bed, and she's saying that she wished she didn't hold a grudge.
And the music playing in the background.
It was just really super depressing, and you really felt bad for her, but she makes it seem like she has no one to blame but herself. She's actually
a big move.
She's taking responsibility for it, but it still makes me sad.
Yeah.
I mean,
because pride, it's about pride. It's like put your pride aside and actually reach out to them, because you know that they're going to welcome her back in open arms. How many times have they all fought? That's the whole season, and then they all come back.
But I wouldn't have even thought about her in this episode had they not shown that.
Me neither.
I would have totally forgotten about her.
There's Lilly.
Wow.
Which is what everyone's saying, that they're not going to bring her in next season. They're going to make, and I guess they're already doing season 4. So they're not going to bring her in. I think predictions. But I don't think she'll be back.
I don't think she's
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Woo!
Okay, we'll go into predictions.
Yeah.
I don't think Lilly is going to be back next season. I still think that there's potential that she may have her own offshoot of a show, and she may get her own little series thing. And I believe Jessica is going to be one of the new cast members, and I'll bet you by the end of next season, Mike will have proposed.
Okay, my prediction is Lilly will be getting married soon, because as I saw on her Instagram news and gossip, she is dating some really rich guy, jet set life, and she was at Fashion Week in New York this past week with him, holding hands and him serenading her on a piano. So I think that she will be getting married soon or releasing her relationship to the public.
And remember, that was probably a couple months ago that she announced that she started dating this guy. So if this is the same guy, she's now revealing him on Instagram. We're looking forward to seeing more from her then.
And also, I have one more thing. Gigi supposedly was dating someone from Vanderpump Rules, which is another show that I cover as well, and which is super weird. She's dating Jax.
She's been posting that on her Instagram.
But he just, because they have their reunion this week, he actually denied that they're dating. So Gigi, get your boo together. If that's your man, girl, he better claim you.
Because what he just said is more recent than what you're going to say for your reunion.
Right.
Than your reunion. But my prediction is, I hope I don't shock you guys, but I don't think that Mike and Jessica are getting married. I think that Jessica is going to become a main character. And she's gonna be like, trying to think of another character, but she's gonna cause the drama. They're gonna use Jessica to cause the drama.
Ooh.
She's gonna be the one that's snipping and snapping at MJ, and you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. Remember that reaction outside of that's what we're gonna get from Jessica, and she's gonna be the main character. And her and
That's
Mike.
a good prediction.
That's a good prediction, and that's fun because you're right. It turns the whole cast around, creates a new
drama.
New drama.
Yes.
I like it.
But I hate that Bravo always likes to break up some kind of relationship.
Well, it's not, to me, I think that's gonna, even if it wasn't for the show.
I don't think it's gonna be Bravo doing it.
If it wasn't for the show, I think
but
that
you
would
know how
automatically
they'll
happen.
like throw
They
things.
push it.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
they push
Yeah,
things.
of course. But I really think that Jessica is gonna be like, I'm fed up with it.
Because she's already listing herself.
And Mike can just go back to his ballers.
Come on.
And go to Vegas all the time with his baller dudes.
Which Mike hangs out with Lily's new boyfriend.
And Mike likes to be the head guy. He likes to be in charge. So when he starts to see her gets attention, he's gonna be like,
Boom, boom, boom.
Season 4, wow. How long do we have to wait till
I
they get to come back?
True, man. I never get a good prediction.
Next week we have the reunion, and it's 2 weeks for the reunion.
Yeah, 2-part reunion.
So we'll have 2 more weeks of Shahs of Sunset with you guys. But for now, my name is Lyndsey Wegner, and you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner, and my blog, lindseywegner.blogspot.com, and doing Supernatural here at AfterBuzz Studios. Cortez, where can they find you?
I want to apologize again. I know last week I was not here, but this week I was here, but just not able to see the show. But you can find me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at Cortez G West. Yeah.
Everyone, as usual, you can find me on Instagram, Pink English, and also find me on Twitter for my second week of tweeting. At what's my Twitter name? English Speak.
I have that effect.
He like threw me off. English Speak. So go follow me. I want some more followers.
Thank you.
We love you guys.
Thank you for anyone that tweeted in and asked questions. That was fun to get to answer some of those. And once again, let us know on YouTube what you want to see, what you want to hear, and let us know what you're thinking. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.